And we're back in the room. How you doing? We're back in the big time. Norwich City have returned to the Premier League. Let's get into some transfers. I was going to do a transfer special, as you know, but I think I mentioned it last episode that I thought the best way to do this would be to show you the players I've got in, and then just play the game, the first league game of the season against Cardiff. So, who did he buy? That's the question. Who's he brought in? Well, let me tell you. We'll start with the outs, though. Though no doubt your eyes have moved across to the left-hand side of the screen. I'm going to try and ignore it. I'm focused on the right-hand side. So the first exit this summer was Cameron Jerome. £2 million for him. Wasn't really doing it for us. He's gone back down to the Championship with West Brom, who got relegated. The next, Ricky Van Wolfswinkel, the forgotten man of Norwich. West Ham came in for £6 million, and I couldn't really turn it down. It's a great bit of business for me. Didn't use him last year. Lewis Grabban is far superior in my mind, although this season will prove that. And then finally, Stuart Childs, a player that you won't recognise, but came through as one of my regens in my academy. Manchester City came in for 5.25 million. There's a few extra clauses in there. 16. I'll tell you the main reason I sold him. Actually, there's two reasons. It's twofold. The first reason is that I probably won't use him on this save, as I won't be playing long enough for him to develop, which is a shame, but that's just the way it is with this particular save. And second reason is Owen Clayton, I believe, who is another striker, 6 foot at the age of 16, could grow into an absolute tank of a player, and didn't cost me £6 million. Only cost me 2.2 million from Rochdale. So that was the reason behind selling Stuart Childs. Anyway, who else? Let's look at the big names that came in then. Shall we start with, well, Owen Clayton, I've just shown you, and Sean Cough were two players I'd looked at during Regen Day. One's a really, really good centre-back who probably won't use, but I just thought, it'd be fun to have some quality regens. Now then, who do we bring in? We'll look at the two loan signings first, or three loan signings first. The first of which is Joel Campbell. Really, really pleased to get Joel Campbell in. If it turns out Lewis Grabban just can't do it in Premier League level, then Joel Campbell will be the man of the moment. He will be the big man to step up for us. And hopefully, all being well, score some goals. Because you need rotation, you need good players in the Premier League, and he is going to have all the tools, I think, to be a bit of a hit if needs be. You can also play in the wide areas, which is really important for the setup we use. The next player, Harry Kane, similar mould really, a little bit different to Joel Campbell, a little bit taller, a bit more target man-esque. We didn't really have a good one. I don't really rate Carl Lafferty, and I can't actually get him out of the club, which is getting more and more irritating. But I thought Harry Kane, good young English player, decent on this game, scored a hat-trick against me last year, and that was part of my thinking that, he's done it against me, he'll do it for me. He's actually been on loan at Norwich previously, unsuccessfully. So, we'll try and forget about that one, Harry. You've got another chance now. The third loan signing, just Robinho. Just Robinho. Not much to tell you, really. Just got a very cheery face. Good dribbling, good first touch, good technique, good flair. He's a fancy player on 28 grand a week. I'll take it. It's good. It's good business. He's different, isn't he? The two kind of main signings that will actually play a strong part in this side, first of which is Jack Cork from Southampton. Really, really good all-round player. Another one who's just got stats for everything. Really good physically, strong mentals for a 25-year-old. He's a bit like Verdis in that respect. Passing, marking's good. Just stern, a really stern defender. If we turn out we need to play a defensive midfielder, which we're not currently, he will definitely be the guy that I'll put in that position. The final signing, probably my most exciting signing, aside from Robinho, is Kiyotaki, Hiroshi Kiyotaki. Look at those stats. Look at him. Look at the man. He's got everything. He's got everything I want in an advanced playmaker. I was saying I wanted an upgrade on Wes Hoolahan. It's like I've gone in there with a Fiat Punto and I've walked out with a Ferrari. And I think that's what's important. Or a Honda Civic, because he's Japanese. It makes sense in my brain. So there are the signings. We've spent 8.125 million. We've got about 10 million to spend overall. Obviously, the signing of the sale, of Stuart Childs has bumped up a little bit. So we may bring in someone else. So the squad is looking relatively good. We do need some more defenders, though. Our defensive cover isn't looking great. We've brought in a few youngsters from our academy too. Cameron McGee and the Murphy brothers have come in too, as well as Harry Toffolo, who's he's a very average right now left back, but at 18, he could develop into something kind of squad-wise, and that's what we're looking for. The formation and the tactic for the upcoming season is much like last year. It's going to be a case of let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, things will have to change. Obviously, we've got a lot of firepower on our bench, which I won't utilise. I'm going to try and keep a similar lineup from last season, give these boys a chance to prove themselves. But obviously on the bench, we've got people like Cork, Robinho, Campbell, Harry Kane also there. So if things need to change, we've got the ability to change it. I did say a few of these players may well leave, but I feel like in the Premier League, squad depth is everything. And without it, you really, really struggle. And you find yourself playing players you don't want to play in positions you don't want them to play. So that's an example for Houlihan. Like, I could have got rid of him, I could have tried to move him on, but then if Kiyosaki gets injured, he is going to do a job for me in, the mediocre games. If we look at our run of fixtures, and actually pre-season's gone pretty well. We've played a lot of sort of lower league teams. Obviously, the standout result was beating PSG. PSG had a really, really strong team out, but yet for some way or reason, we battered them statistically and on the scoreline. So maybe they were just completely out of fitness, but it was our first game too. Not to forget, our start to the Premier League is relatively easy. Cardiff and Watford obviously came up with us, and they're our first 2 games. Then a Capital One Cup tie against Huddersfield, Palace, Hull, Southampton, Everton, QPR, Sunderland. You expect to do quite well from that. Obviously, there is a bit of a horrible area down there: Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, Tottenham, Man City, which does in fact mean our run-in is Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, Tottenham, Man City, which is going to be quite the struggle and quite the challenge. But it's something I'm looking forward to. And obviously there's no highlights to show you because we've not played any league games. So it's time to face our first game of the season against Cardiff City. So then, can we kick off this Premier League season with an early win against a Cardiff side which has made a couple of improvements? The first one obviously stands out. Gabriel Bonlahor has been signed. So he's the new front man for Cardiff, dropping top goal scorer of the Championship last year, Adam Lafondra. So that can only be good news for me, right? I assume so anyway. Let's get straight into it. Regardless, let's hope we can get a win on the board. Obviously, old boy Anthony Pilkington still playing his trade for Cardiff, even in the Premier League. So he's trying to make the step up just like we are. I want us to enjoy the game. Back in the Premier League, I want them to feel like there's not a lot of pressure. I want to feel a little bit like last year, have fun out there, enjoy yourselves. Don't drink, though, because that's irresponsible for a football player. And hopefully, we can go out and dominate from the early moments. I'll slow it down a tad just so we can keep up. But yeah, I think expectations for the year, obviously they've let us put it for avoiding relegation, but you want to aim a little bit higher. There's a lot of crap in the Premier League, and I want to be at like the top end of the crap. So if we can finish around 12th in our first season, that'd be brilliant, as Gabriel Bonlahor makes it 1-0 Cardiff after 2 minutes. It's not the ideal start. I wouldn't say it was the dream start, but it's fine. It's something we'll adapt to. And Bonlahor, he's a Premier League veteran, so he should be scoring. Frankly, we are hopelessly exposed in the middle. I've bravely put Ryan Bennett in. I'm having to play Basong left back because he's the best alternative to Olsen, who I've not replaced, but I'm still kind of looking at replacing because he's not very good. Are we still going to be a threat from the right hand side? That's the question. That's going to be the key this year. Is Elliot Bennett going to be good enough, or are we going to have to trade him in for a better new young model? And John Ruddy has made a fantastic save there, and the pressure is on us early doors. It may be worth switching to counter-attack, or they do say the best form of defence is attack, but we bring the ball out now. Can Lewis Grabban step up into this division? That's the big question for me. That's my only real worry. Obviously we've got players to fill the void if he can't do it, but I would like him to. I want him to be able to make that step up and be a bit of a poacher. If he gets 15 goals this season, for me that's kind of job done with a player like Lewis Grabban, as Anthony Pilkington scores a second, and we're looking a little bit ropey. I'm going to take it off fluid. I'm going to stick it on. Do you know what we are going to attack? We're away from home. Funnily enough, in real life, not that long ago, Norwich were 2-0 down to Cardiff away from home, and Norwich fans, you'll know what happened. It was turned round magnificently into a 4-2, and I'll take a 4-2 today, frankly. As Verdis, we've got to be doing better there. I have, do you know what, it was a brave decision. I have stuck with the players that got us up last year. I could have brought in the likes of Jack Cork and Rubinho amongst others, but I thought, no, you know what, they got us here, keep the faith. And as we work it down the right-hand side, Lewis Grabban. Can the Elliot Bennett, Lewis Grabban show continue its rich vein of form from last season? I do hope so. Kiyosaki, that's not that good. That's the sort of chance you see go in on FM frequently, and if it doesn't do, you feel a little bit, a little bit lost. We've had quite a lot of highlights in this first half. It's been quite a slow set of gameplay, but it does give me a chance to talk about a few players individually. Obviously, we've got Susie back in the squad. Grabban's in. That's a fantastic tackle, whoever that was. Redmond, though, comes again. Oh, Lewis, you have to think he would have scored that in the Championship. Is it the lack of time on the ball that's making him squander these opportunities? We come again, though. Bennett, again. we're not completely out of this at all. Since going attacking and taking it off fluid, we are attacking with purpose. And we're actually having a go at them. But we have been caught on the break twice. And I say that as they've got the ball, nervously. And I've got to say, this is a game we should really win. And we are taking a pummeling from Cardiff. This is their dream start, I think. We've been done by the pace of a Bonlahor, who's found Wolf Ikram, who's just slid it under Roddy like it's gone out of fashion. Now the 4-2 is now off the cards, which is a major problem for us. And this, hopefully this doesn't become a theme of the season. If we get a goal before half-time, things will be on the up. Vadis, we've had, I'm going to get the stats up, we've had quite a few shots on target, or quite a few shots in general, that have come to absolutely nothing, and then we've been spanked down the other end. See, it's been a very even game. They've had 4 clear-cut chances to our 1. Maybe we need another one to help us out. Martin hit the post. Oh, but the woodwork twice. A frustrating start. This is a very frustrating start. A very slow start as well. These highlights are going on forever. I do apologise. I will speed it up for the second half. I expect to see a much better showing. And we're going to, do you know what? I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to bring on a few big dogs to change this up. We'll bring Joel Campbell in. We'll bring Jack Cork in. Do you know what? I'm doing it. This is so kind of not recommended. But I'm bringing on 3 big dogs for the second half. I'm making it a half-time triple change. This is unheard of. The fans can't believe it. They think this is make or break. And my word, are they right? I'll live by the sword, and I'll die by the sword. I don't know who said that, but it sounds good. It probably doesn't even make any sense, really. But, come on. If I had a play called Sword, it would have made way more sense. This is the start of the Premier League campaign. I guess what this will do is give me a chance. We're not extended, are we? Oh, for fuck's sake, Ben. You buffoon. You absolute buffoon. Everyone's been sat here. Oh, Sunzi, you haven't. Oh, you bloody have. Susie, mate, you can't be doing that. We've made the triple change as well, haven't we? Oh, okay. Well, we've got. It's fine. It's not. This isn't even a problem. Look at that. That's a winning formation. Don't compound it, please. Go on. Now, Joel Campbell has got pace to absolutely burn here. If the 10 men of Norwich can come back. Every shot we've had has been feeble. Absolutely feeble. I couldn't be more upset with how this has gone. Well, I could. I'm pretty annoyed right now, frankly. Come on, boys. Work it. Robinho. Oh, we have had so many pointless shots. 7 on target, but no penetration. Absolutely no penetration. They've not really hit us from wide areas. It's always kind of come through the middle. Come on, boys. Just 1 goal. Give us something to hang our hats on. Once again, I don't know who said that, but it just sounds good. It sounds like the sort of thing a manager would shout at his team after an appalling display against another promoted side. Is this what it's like to be QPR? And Lafondra finishes it, and I'm heartbroken, frankly. A tough start to life in the Premier League. I will explain the highlight packages are going to be slightly different from now on. I'm going to be a little bit more selective. I'm going to do a few. I want to get more seasons into this before FM15 comes out, so I'm going to be a little bit more selective with the highlights, which does mean I'm going to play more games. So I'll be back every 8 or 9 games now, rather than every 3 or 4 or 5. Just because I want this season to I want the series to kind of progress and speed up a little bit. So yeah, there's the plan for you. This is not a good start though. I was very kind of hesitant at improving my backline. Should have improved my backline. And that brings us to the end of the game. A crushing 4-0 defeat. I'm going to aggressively say I'm not happy. And at least they reacted. So where does that put us in the table then? Well. And elsewhere, Watford are drawing with Manchester United. It's going to be one of those seasons, isn't it? It's going to be a roller coaster. Well, thank you very much for watching. I have appreciated having you with me. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel. We've got Challenge Tuesday coming up, as well as all sorts of stuff this week, next week, whenever it was. This could be uploaded at any point. From me, DoctorBenjy, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.